This is Market Square, one of our district bundles. This build is on a 2-foot by 2-foot footprint made up of 4 of our new sculptural battle boards. These have our cobblestone texture, so the whole ground has this great cobblestone base. Fantastic for building any city layout. This is supposed to feel, as the name would imply, like a big open-air market, right? Airy and affluent, the place where merchants would have their houses or shops set up, as well as a smaller open-air market or bazaar, somewhere where people would come in and buy things, or perhaps get pickpocketed or spy or get into trouble. So it should be a great collection for building any sort of affluent area of the city or a market or shops or the like. We have a collection of more of our high-end decorative pieces in here. So all of the walls are either our manor house walls and posts or our tavern walls and posts. So we've got tons of LED walls. In fact, you can't even see there's 9 LED walls in here, and most of them are actually inside because there was so much stuff on the outside. So lots of LED walls in here, magnetic walls, our elegant corner posts. We have the parquet corner posts, so all of your buildings look a little more decorative, as well as all the floors inside will be our decorative parquet floors, like this one. So they have a really intricate paint job, so your interiors will look fancy to match your exteriors. We're also showcasing our roof ridges and our market dressing in here. So let's dive in and take a look at all of the details. I'm going to start over here in our open air market section. So the backbone of the market are the market stalls here. So we've got 4 of them in here, 2 in each market dressing pack. It's a little freestanding wood piece. The tops, these will be made in felt. Right now it's just paper tacked on there. It's a removable piece of felt, and you'll have 3 different designs to choose from: the stripes, the beautiful red Baroque design, and some neutral shingles. So you'll be able to pop that off. We slid in, this is a 2-inch scaffolding platform in there, as well as a bunch of dressing. There's a magnetic tool wall and a planter in there to make it look like there's wares for sale. You can tilt this thing forward. So over here, we took it's the same piece like that, but we tilted it forward like this. Put the same scaffolding piece. It's in the back this time to make it like a wall, and then put some the large modular barricade in there, so you can use the same piece, get some visual variety using the same piece, and then you can have the same felt topper can fit on the what was used to be the front is now the top. So we're trying to give you as much modularity as you can with these things. You can also use them. In this case over here, we have the just the plain gray shingles. So the shingles will pop off. This will be a piece of nice thick felt, have a good fabric feel to it, so you can get access in there if you want to move around Miniature of Combat. But also you can just pop this against the side of your building, use the gray shingles, and it becomes a little stable. There's a door sculpted on the side there, so this could be a stable or a tool shed or a place to put your outhouse or a little shack or whatnot. So I think you'll get a lot of good use out of these market stall pieces. They also benefit from, you can put a little ramp up against them. We have the awning here used as a ramp, or the small steps here to step up to get you in there. Market stall. So we've got the market stalls arrayed out. They go to a shop area filled with lots of dressing. And then on the back here, we're just using, this is the balcony piece with the railing in there, with one of those awning pieces up there as a ramp, and that's holding just some more clutter, so it could be another storage area, another place or cellar. If you populated this out with a bunch of minis, you could have all these could have different merchants in there hawking their wares and the like. And also, kind of flanking the market square, we have our little LED lamp post, one of the more characterful sculpts in the in Lowtown. Love this thing. And it's got its own LED, it's got its own switch, it's got its own battery, freestanding, so you can put your lantern light anywhere, add a little illumination to any scene. In the center of the market square, we have this little raised area made with our 2-inch 2x2 cobblestone risers. We'll look at the whole urban elevation in a moment. But this is supposed to be a area where we can have an auction or a town crier, or one of the merchants is hawking their wares or whatever. In this case, we have maybe it's a art dealer has sort of set up shop right in front of it. These are the magnetic picture frames. In this case, we're just using them freestanding. And they've got 3 different inserts. So one is a little castle panorama, which is a shot from our actual castles Kickstarter years ago. There's a water genasi, and then we have a piece of mylar that you can pop in there and make it into a silver mirror. So it could be even a magic mirror. So like that little hand cart always looks fun anywhere you put it. And we've decorated the edge of this raised area with these are the corner roof ridges. We'll top to the roof ridges when we get up to the top of the roofs, but they can also sort of freestand and make decorations elsewhere. And these will have little pole accessory holes in there, so you could further decorate them with pole accessories if you wanted. Also decorating out this market square, we've got over here, this is the little window box. So this thing pops into any of our window, right? It could be a window insert similar to these shutters over here. So you could take the shutters out, take the pane out, pop this into a window for a little window box. You can remove the planter, and you pop that in as a little spot of color somewhere in one of your builds. Use this as shelves, and if you want, you can turn it up vertically, pop it into a window, and use it as shelves in the inside of your window. And on the outside, it's closed shutters. So the closed shutters would match the open shutters, so you could use this to have closed and open shutters on your building. Very versatile modular piece. Michelle masterminded maximum modularity on this tiny little thing, so you get a lot of use out of it. And then working over this one, we have this is the bar counter that is also full of goods, works well in your kitchen or in your bar, or in this case, we're just using it as to display some wares in our market stall, something like that. You can clutter up the top with a rope coil or something if you'd like. Working our way out of the square, let's look at our first building over here. So each of these buildings is supposed to feel like a different merchant's house or shop. Maybe the apothecary lives here, something. So we've got try to pack a lot of character and opulence into these buildings. So this has the bay window. It's just biscuited right to the side. The front is, you can pop out. That's a narrow wall that you can pop out. The roof is sort of cool, old hammered copper that's all weathered up. Hamster got a good weathered paint scheme for it. That's biscuited to the side of the second story. And then beneath it, we have this corbel row facade, just pressure fit in there. So the thing is just sort of shoved on there to help transition from the stone up to the building. And this will have, you can pop pegs on the back and attach it to any of your corner posts. We use that thing all over this build. We'll take a look at it. And speaking of the foundation, underneath here, we have more of our urban elevation, which we will take a look at. And this is that same awning ramp. It's biscuited to the side of the floor here to bridge over to the cobblestone stairs, make a nice little raised entrance. On the front of the building, we've taken, this is the new 4-inch soffit peak, very super decorative peak. That has pegs on the back, so you can attach it to the new corner posts, have holes in them to accept the full accessory pegs. So you can pop this in just like it's a facade, and then use the same peak that we're using on the edge of the roofs as a cool little overhang for the front of your building. We've topped it off with, this is the end piece for the new roof ridge system, and that has a pole accessory hole, and this is the Satyr Moon little pole accessory decorative bit that's popped in there to give it some extra flair, as if we didn't have enough character on this building already. And moving up to the upper floor, we've got a pair of the corbel post facades stuck into those little holes on our corner posts. And then here's the first example of our LED wall with that Gothic lantern LED piece. And this is modular. You can pop it out, swap in any of your existing wall LED elements, your torches and your serpent orbs and runestones and the like. So you can add to that collection. And then at the tippy top, we have a bunch of our straight roofs. We're using the soffits, the regular soffits on front here, just to give a nice little overhang to make it feel a little more real. and then capping the whole thing off with a magnetic chimney and the new roof ridges. This is the 2-inch run of the roof ridge. Back here we have the cupola with a 2-inch peak turned at 90 degrees so you can see the vents here, and then another roof ridge piece on the top. So all in all, makes this a very characterful little building. Now into the main big showpiece building of this whole thing. So this could be a series of shops. It could be a merchant's guild. It could be an auction house somewhere that there's a lot of foot traffic and pedestrian traffic. So on the front, we have the Grand Promenade roof set up here with a couple of valleys, a couple of hips, and then the same 4-inch gable peak, or 4-inch soffit peak with the same Satyr Moon pole accessory in there to make it as decorative as can be. The whole thing is sitting on those new banister corner posts, which have they have no grooves on them, so they're super decorative, make for holding up any good outdoor area. A bunch of the small steps up front to make it a inviting walkway in, and then underneath in the back there we have the double doors from our Fieldstone remastered Fieldstone collection. You could open those wide to let the crowds in and out, all the shoppers, or roll carts in and out if you had to bring in goods or whatnot. And we're trying to do a nice transition, right? This is a hybrid building where it has stone on the bottom and wood on the second and third story. So we're trying to transition up nicely between the stone and the wood. So over here we have the LED Fieldstone LED wall with the new Gothic LED lantern, and then it has that same corbel row facade on top of it to help transition it up to the wood and also help give a little support to. We've got a diagonal wall here, popped in with a diagonal roof, and it's just held in with the biscuits, right? Just biscuited right to the side of the building, so it can cantilever out. And then we have one of my favorite pieces of geometry in this whole, in all of Lowtown. Dangle Room is a collection of pieces, these octagonal pieces that make for a really neat little suspended parapet or a kind of fun-shaped room on the side of your house. Working our way from the top down, we start with the wizard hat roof up here. So this thing pops open. We biscuit the two halves together. It's got biscuit holes in there, so holds together firmly. And it has sculpted a little, there's a little attic scene in there with the chest and everything. So you could pop a mini in there or some treasure or some sort of fun MacGuffin on the inside. So it's not only beautiful from the outside, but has some playable space on the inside, and really makes for a striking silhouette. So these little spires popping up over here. And then, so this upper extension area has all of the little parquet rosettes that we see all over the corner posts. You can pop out the narrow walls on either side, so you could swap in a door if you wanted and have some stairs coming out, or a platform connecting to another tower. Trapdoor hole inside, which we were supposed to have a trapdoor in there. I forgot to put it in. And Eli managed to get all that crammed in this one beautiful little space. Really decorative floor in there. We have this connector piece biscuited on the back so it can smoothly transition up to the roofs. You can also use this for the alternate roof to get, if you want to connect your wizard hat roof to these roofs. And all those pieces are included in here. And we also have, we're using some of our biscuit hole fillers on this one. So this is the rivet. On this side we have a projecting beam to kind of give it some architectural flair. And then this is another one of the wood rivets with a pole accessory hole, and this one is connecting a clothesline here that has a bunch of the flags. We'll show you on the big one on the back in detail. And then on the bottom layer, this is the actual dangle room itself, and this slots right into the large diagonal. You can do it on the ground floor. You can suspend it like this. Lots of fun ways to build it. You could even put it flat on the front of your building if you wanted to kind of have a flat tower on the front. Interesting entryway. And this also has removable narrow walls. In this case, we're using the door wall here. And then using the biscuit hole, it's just attached the corner railing platform and 61mm stairs. So this is a cool little entryway up from the street. So this could be, maybe there's a wizard who's set up shop in here and she makes magic items, or or potions or something interesting. Could be a shop, or maybe it's just maybe the owner of the guild lives in the tower, the lonely tower, or whatnot. Who knows? Who cares who lives in there? It just looks cool. The body of this thing, it's full of those parquet floors, so very decorative inside, as well as we've got magnetic walls and LEDs in there, so lots of fun accessories. You could dress up. You could make this whole collection, build one big building and then decorate it up a bunch. The roof, to sort of break up this big open roof space, we have our LED dormer on here in green. So this is a magnetic attachment that just pops onto the magnetic roofs. It has a LED and battery and switch baked in. You can swap out the window panes. You can swap out the window inserts on here. So you can give this some flavor. And then it's a really great way to give a little life, little flickering firelight in your, up in the attic, in your roofs. Also, it swoops down to sort of flat on the end, so you can balance a mini on there, so it becomes playable space if you want. You can pop the mini up there as a sniper spot or something, or someone can climb out the window and take refuge up on the roof or whatnot. Trying to get as much playable space on the upper levels as we can. And speaking of the upper levels, we top this thing off with these are 2-inch peak roofs. 3 of those biscuited together they have their own little dedicated soffits on there. Give it a nice little overhang, little vent. And then there's the cupola with another 2-inch peak on the top of it. And this is a great showcase of our roof ridge system coming across. These have pull accessory holes, so you can accessorize them. And in this case, we attached the clothesline and then cut out a bunch of the flags from the we're going to give you a sheet of flags and a sheet of laundry, so you can hang them on your clothesline. These will be printed in felt, so they'll have a nice texture to them. Right now, these prototypes are in paper. It's nice to see our graphics team get to make tiny little masterpieces for you to enjoy. All right, and that takes us over to our final building here. One more wonderfully characterful building. So the base of this thing is really showcasing our new urban elevation system. So we have our cobblestone stairs, is 1x2 stairs and cobblestone risers, 25 millimeter cobblestone riser. So it's basically a 1x1x1 cube, 1 inch, where it's got biscuit holes on either side, so you can attach platforms or ladders or any of our stairs, any of the bits from the system. So you're going to use this as a very versatile piece to build up, out, and around. And plays with the stairs. You can do a variety of ways to build up and around and whatnot. Very useful. Can't go wrong with a little cube. Then we have a larger one. This is the 2x2 riser, and this one has a really nice little arch and water through. So this could be a good transition into your sewers. It plays really nicely with the seawalls. This will have a biscuit hole on the front and the back, so then you could attach platforms out and suspend stuff beyond, and of course plays well with the stairs. In this case, we're using it to make our platform out front, and you can stack them. Really, just a bunch of useful building blocks, like literally blocks. And then working our way up, it's for my favorite area of this thing. So we have this little raised entryway for the second story of this shop, which is probably where people would enter. But then also down below, there's a little doorway in there that brings you into the cellar, or maybe that's where they smuggle out the secret poisons they're making in the middle of the night or whatnot. So this is utilizing the half arch. It's the cobblestone half arch. So as the name implies, it's half the arch. You can attach 2 of them together with a biscuit. They have biscuit holes on the front and the back. So this is great for making bridges or aqueducts or the like. You could also connect 2 of them with, if you have a 2x2 cobblestone piece, you can put them there to make a bridge, or you could put scaffolding, a 4-inch scaffolding there to make a longer bridge or whatnot. You can also, like we've done over in the back corner here, you can biscuit 2 of them back to back. This is making like a little suspended platform, a little raised platform, and then this is biscuiting our stairs, 38 millimeter and 25 millimeter stair in there to get a sort of a back entrance to this this building over here. And then the final fun detail is when these things are biscuited together, there's a little groove in there, so you can pop in any of our narrow walls. So in this case, we popped in the door, and then that connects to the door in the front of the shop there. So this is the neat little entryway to the basement. It also helps the stone, kind of helps the nice transition. We've got a stone ground floor, wood second story, so it's kind of connecting the whole thing up. We have on the side here, this is our open arch wood facade, and that's helping sort of get some of the wood down onto the stone part so that as we transition our way up here. We have a poet's nook suspended off the side of the building, and it's just biscuited on the side of the building, makes that cool overhang. And what we actually did was slid the building, instead of lining this whole building up exactly on the base below, we slid it back with a post nook there a little bit. So now this side overhangs and this side overhangs and has a sort of a more medievally feel to it. We're using that same 4-inch corbel row on the back to help support that side, and the side's kind of hanging over. It has that projecting beam biscuit hole filler on the front there. Then the front of the shop, we have this fun little hanging, it's a hanging shield biscuit hole filler, so that's just popped into the biscuit hole. So maybe that means this is an armorer or a blacksmith or something, or maybe you could paint a little something on there, and it can be any generic sign. The door, this is a fantastic example of, this is our fancy door, right? We have the regular rustic door, we have the ramshackle speakeasy door, and this is our beautiful high-end door that is both painted gorgeously in-game and out of game, and sculpted nicely. That has decorative bits, and it even had features with sculpted on there. Michelle made a little hobbit door or gnome door, right? So there's a little round door with its own hinges and handle. That's not operable. The full door will be operable, but this little one is just sculpted, a sculpted detail, trying to give it as much fantasy flavor as possible. And then above it, we have, this is that same awning piece that we used as a ramp over here, and we used it as a ramp over here. In this case, we've biscuited that awning to the side of the building, and then we're putting this little awning covers. You're going to get 3 different colors. So these awning covers, in this case, it's the green and white stripes. This will be felt, so it'll have a nice fabric feel to it, and now it makes it a nice inviting awning to come into your shop. Open shutter window insert up there. This 4-inch corbel row again. Tons of these corbels everywhere. They just really give a nice feel to the thing. They also have pole accessory holes, so you could add, you could attach a clothesline or put a little pole accessory decoration up there. And then finally on the roof, we're using the 4-inch soffit peak again with our roof ridge pieces. Another LED dormer window. And this is also offset a little bit, so we push this one back from the edge of the building so that we have kind of overhang on this side and overhang on this side. Since we don't have a soffit, you kind of want your roofs to overhang the building a little bit, makes everything feel a little more real. So that hopefully gives you all the sort of secrets and details contained in this build, and hopefully it will inspire you and give you an idea of what you can do, what you can build with this district. This collection of pieces will let you build a variety of markets, shops, any sort of area where there is commerce, or maybe just a wealthy manor house or whatnot. Tons of decoration. We didn't use all our pieces. A lot of LEDs in here that we can't even see. Magnetic walls. There's a rich collection and a great addition to your city. Also, if you are getting other pieces of the city, you could connect this really nicely to Ambush Alley over on this side and Wharf Watch on that side. Or you could even rotate it around and connect downtown Dockside over here and go to feed onto Ambush Alley over there or the like. So all these districts can connect together nicely to make a big 4x4 city if you'd like. So hope this inspires you.